What is up, everybody? So we have a new champion pass out now, and the free tier looks like it comes with some 6-star Lizardman accessories. You get a Predator avatar, a little bit of energy, some 4-star glyphs. The speed glyphs isn't bad, and you get a feast at the end of it. So I mean, for free gear, it's not nothing too bad. If you pay for it, which is $50, sorry, 60 for all of it. Well, 40 for all of it, 60 if you want to go ahead and have it all unlocked. And with that, you will get, let's see, 2 5-star chickens, a 4-star chicken, enough potions, it looks like to take them to about 3-star ascension. You get a 6-piece instinct set. You get Lizardman amulet and banner. You get 6-star speed glyphs, which is definitely worth something. Some other 6-star glyphs. He is an HP champion. His A1 attacks one enemy, heals this champion by 30% of the damage dealt. Whenever this champion successfully evades an enemy skill and all of its accompanying effects, it counterattacks with this skill. So anytime he evades, he's going to counterattack. That's going to kind of depend on the multipliers, whether that's good or not. It's A2, Smart Disc, attacks, wow, that's freaking novel of an attack. Attacks all enemies twice. After hitting the initially selected enemy, all other enemies will be hit in random order. So that's great for Hydra. For the first hit, the damage received by the initially selected enemy will be increased by 75%. Each subsequent hit following the initial hit will receive 15% less bonus damage. Reduces to 15% bonus damage. Wow. Also destroys each enemy's max HP by 30%. Of the damage dealt stacks up to 50%. So, that, it's got some uses. You could definitely use them in the Scarab. For the second hit, the damage received will be initially selected. The enemy will be increased by 15%. The subsequent enemy hit following the initial hit will receive 50% more bonus damage. Stacks up to 75% bonus damage. This attack ignores 15% of each target's defense. This champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff, and the damage is based on HP. Attacks one enemy, Combi Stick Throw, on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. Attacks one enemy, before attacking places Hunter's Gaze for 1 turn. This debuff cannot be resisted if this champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil. If this attack kills an enemy, places Block Revive on the target and a Hunter's Gaze on a random alive enemy for 1 turn. The Hunter's Gaze debuff cannot be resisted if this champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil. If the attack does not kill an enemy, puts a Perfect Veil on this champion for 2 turns, it fills the turn meter by 50%. Now, what does Hunter's Gaze do exactly? Damage dealt to a champion under Hunter's Gauge cannot be decreased, blocked, redirected, or transferred. This applies only to damage dealt directly by skills, and not from debuffs, passive masteries, or blessings. Damage dealt to a champion under Hunter's Gauge will ignore unkillable, block damage, increase defense, strengthen, ally protection, veil, perfect veil, and shield buffs. Champions can still evade damage while under the Hunter's Gauge debuff, though. So basically anything except for evade and stone skin. He's got, I believe his HP goes up to like 26,000 when he's fully leveled up. Let's see if Hell Hades has any multipliers on him. It says coming soon. So it does not have a guide yet. Huh. What about a Yumi Love? stuff. Does anybody have the multipliers on? So apparently nobody really knows his multipliers. It's interesting. Gotta pop the old wallet. Okay. It says he'll be available until February the 24th. Let's go ahead and claim all this. And we'll gear him up and try him out in the arena. Wow. I think the shop's trying to tell me something, guys. Hopefully get a soul stone chase soon. By the way, there's also for free players, which in my opinion has a more interesting kit, the Xenomorph, which we get him in 5 more days. I mean, look at that design. That's pretty freaking sick. Since we have him pulled up, we can go ahead and go through his kit a little bit too. Attacks one enemy, puts a 5% poison for 2 turns, puts 3 poisons if the attack is critical, so its A1 can put out 3 5% poisons, which is pretty insane. Also puts a perfect bell on this champion for 2 turns. Attacks one enemy. Before attacking, places a stun debuff and an infest debuff on a target for 2 turns. I believe the infest is new and pretty much unique to the Xenomorph. These debuffs cannot be resisted if this champion is under a perfect bell. Places a true fear on all other enemies for 1 turn. This debuff cannot be resisted if the target's under a perfect bell, and they got a passive on the A2. Revives this champion with half health, half turn meter whenever an enemy under infest dies. I'm not sure what infest does, but that stun for 2 turns is pretty nice. See if we can pull up infest. Whenever an enemy under infest dies, deals pure damage to all other alive enemies. The pure damage is equal to 50% of the enemy's max HP who died under the infest debuff. This pure damage cannot be critical. The damage dealt upon killing a boss or their minions cannot exceed more than 10% of their max HP. That's pretty insane. I feel like he's going to be great in the arena, or she. I always feel like the alien is a she. Rip and Claw, the A3, attacks one enemy 2 times, deals 15% more damage per each poison debuff on the target. Also places Perfect Bell on this champion for 2 turns. And then passive, whenever this champion is attacked, has a 25% chance to place a 5% poison debuff on the attacker for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted. If an enemy under a poison debuff placed with a champion, it decreases their defense by 20%. So he's going to be pretty good just to put on teams that you're going to fight with bosses. Like, I'm pretty excited for this champion's kit. And I always liked the design of Alien better than Predator, but Predator is kind of like a Chad and always seems to win. We need to run a couple of arena fights real quick so we don't lose those tokens. With the Cavalax Teox team, it shouldn't take no time. What? Yo, I'm filming. There's no point in you standing there. I may end up having to refight this one. Can definitely take this team, just not. I probably need to manual it. And maybe not with the Teox team. I maybe should have went my mythical. Yeah, we. Oh shit, that fear got me. There we go. Not a particularly good team for what I have. Can we strip the block? Yeah, we can strip. Ah. For once, Lazarius's passive revive kind of hurt me. And that's just going to kill itself. Damn. That looked cool. What are they even calling for with the weather? My wife's freaking out about it. Just rain. try to build this champion. We won't be able to book him tonight, so how much damage are we going to be missing out on? 30%. Damn. Maybe we'll get lucky on Clan Boss in the morning the next couple days and get some books. Need 11 of these. And spend like 4 mil to upgrade them. Okay. Almost 26,000 XP though, or HP. That's pretty wild. No gear, no nothing. We're looking at 36k HP and almost 15,000 defense. 1,500 defense, sorry. Not bad. We might do the Malefic Talon? Not sure. Yeah, let's take that off. And let's pull it off of Seer and put it on him. So right out the gate, that's going to give us 1.6 thousand HP and 26% more crit damage. Let's see. I'm thinking Stone Skin, at least 4 piece. I don't know. We definitely, I'm thinking like a Ghost second build on him. If I did put him on with Teox, Teox would just outshine him. That could be a good one for him. Let's see, what do we get in 12 on this? No, not where we needed to go. Maybe pinpoint. See, if we use the evade in turn of like stone skin, we could count on the evade half of the time. And we don't need accuracy. We can always swap the gear around as well. Yeah, let's try that. I wish that was 6-star. But at least it's an HP. He doesn't need accuracy for anything, does he? I don't think so. We do need to bring him with the Veil Champion. I'm thinking maybe like Glaycat. Let's see. Take that. Ooh, I'll take it. We don't need attack. Okay. It acts like it wants us to put it in instinct gear. That don't really care about the accuracy, but that looks like about as good as we're gonna get. We'll see if there's anything better equipped that we can pull off. But what we got here? think that's what we'll put on him there. Sorry, Mariuko. And what we got on lethal? Bloodthirst could help keep him tankier. Yeah, that's a good piece for him. Let's re-roll it. There we go. That is exactly what we're looking for. Now, do we want a helmet or gauntlets? We got here. Okay. Well, let's sell something to get that extra little bit up. Will that get it? Nope. We got it. Barely. So what kind of? Oh, we got something to get. Where's ain't got much of that. So, what about stone skin? Damn. So if we can get crit damage with crit rate as a substat, I think we can pull that off. Possibly. That's a little better. So what are we looking at here? We got 72 crit rate. Not ideal, but I think we can make it work. 94k HP, which is pretty nice. Almost 250 crit damage. It's okay. Not really much of anything else. Let's get him the first tier of mastery so that he has that crit rate. And let's see if he can do the Minotaur by himself. And if so, how long that'd take him. Oh, I didn't realize he had 35% HP in all arena battles. What's his double hitter gonna do? I couldn't really tell what that did. A1's doing 34k. Not crazy, but if he's tanky enough, it'll work. This is A3 hit for. Well, it hit harder that second time. The fact that he's proccing heals like that. It's gonna make him very like soloable. Just for like bosses and stuff. I mean, we're hitting like almost 90k on the AoE, which I don't think is gonna like one-shot anybody, but it's definitely going to deal a lot of damage. I mean, that is pretty wild. We'll put it on auto and see what it does the next round. I don't know if pinpoint's the best option for him. We'll have to see how it does in practice. And do we want to go down defense or support? Support would give him a little more HP and it would make his heals a little bit better on himself. Defense, we could do the 5% less AoE. That Cycle of Revenge would definitely come in handy. Master Hexer really would be handy for that Hunter's Gaze. I was looking for Cycle of Magic. I forget which tree it's down. There it is. Yeah, I think we go support. Alright, let's try it on auto now. See what he does. I do think he's going to be annoying to take down. That A1, it's got a really good heal on it. And when he gets some more books into him, yeah, we'll take him into the arena after this. Later on in the week, when I get enough books to actually book him out and get some masteries filled out on him, we'll do a like more in-depth guide. But right now, my first impression is he's not like a straight up nuker, but he's very tanky and he has decent damage numbers. I'd probably give him around like a 7 out of 10, but for a guaranteed legendary that you can get for 40 bucks, it's kind of hard to complain about. Now, that's just for the Minotaur and looking at his base HP and stuff. We got to take him into the arena to really know. But he is putting out some numbers. Alright. Yeah, I'm thinking we bring him in with the Glade Cat. And who else would be good to throw in with him? Our bias, maybe? We're gonna hope that he has full HP, where he has the evade and stuff. And we may even swap out that pinpoint for Stone Skin later. We just gotta see what happens. And also, adding a third to his damage after he gets booked is going to be a huge difference. Let's go in and see what's going on. What do we think? Nail. Maybe Volcanos. Armons. And Predator. Volcanos is liable to just steal the show here, but we'll see. What's he gonna do against her? Damn. Armon's just flat out handling it himself. 58k is not horrible. What's his A2 gonna do? That was a little bit too fast. I couldn't see his numbers thing. So Vulcanus' A1 did 25k. Let's see what he does. 28. His A1 hit harder than Vulcanus's? Well, I'm kinda shocked at that. I think that was circumstantial. mean, he hit 28k again on her. His A2 doesn't hit very hard though. Like, it's almost looking like his A1 is his best move. I mean, he's dealing more damage than Vulcanus did on his A1 there too. I know we're kind of dragging this fight out. I'm just trying to get a taste for what he does. So it takes Vulcanus like 4 or 5 hits or A1s to be able to get up to his A1 initial. And his A3 is nothing crazy either. Like, it looks like his A1, well, it hits about double his A3, or A1, I guess. He's actually kind of doing similar damage to that Vulcanus is, which is very shocking. And that block revive is very handy. Let's see. Let's put him in with Playcat. Damn. Ooh. A little disappointed. 40k on Suzanne. Okay, that was a very squishy team. Does he stop Brachus's passive from happening? He does. You could also use him on the Ice Spider in that case as well. Yeah, he's he's impressing me a bit more in the arena than he was just in the dungeon. He deals just enough damage to use him in the arena. Oh, fuck you. Ooh. So that team's a little bit too much for him. He could be good on Mariska teams, blocking revives. How did he ignore that block damage? He's definitely on the tankier side. Hmm. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna have to get his masteries and books up to make like a valid opinion on him. Let's put him on a in with some lizards. That A1 does hit good though. There's no denying that. Ooh, damn it, Chalka, or the cat. Yeah, that cat fucked me up. Swap him out for Siegfried. mean, you're not going to compete with Bigfoot. I could definitely see myself using him in Siege, and he might even make one of my tag teams. Ooh. Damn it. Hmm. How much speed do we got on Samaria? Not much. But she would give us some much needed control. We might bring in Nell. Yeah, and let's put Vulcanus back on this team. Or Eric's. Now, if Wukong can't revive, I mean, that's going to be handy. Gonna have to wait on Death Knight to lose his stone skin here. Hmm. Be an Damn. I don't know. This is a pretty wild team. He is a good Armon's counter as well. So does he ignore Death Knight's passive on like blocking the first hit? I think he might. Okay. I see you there, Predator. Damn. What about He-Man? Something I like about him is in this meta, lot of the best champions are. Sorry, in this meta, a lot of the best champions are Magic Affinity. What do we get here? I mean, over 100K. And given these are not crazy teams we're fighting, but they're not no pushovers either. Yeah. Everything feels like it's so slow when you put it on one speed. I mean, it does some damage. $50K on the A1 right there against the Death Knight at that. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with him. I think he's definitely a solid 7, if not an 8 out of 10 champion. I think that's where we're going to end it tonight with him. And later on in the week, we'll come back to it when I get him mastered out and some books on him. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great night.